Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe, and everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. So it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you're on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Okay? One second, ladies and gentlemen. Be with you shortly. Okay, let's tap into the tarot. And the first card that we have here, collective, is the Eight of Coins. Okay, the Eight of Coins is representing working towards a goal. Could be apprenticeship, could be some kind of training. You could be going through or taking some kind of training, some kind of job training. Okay, some kind of skill you could be learning. This could be you receiving a promotion or maybe switching positions, switching maybe job descriptions. Maybe there's a position you want to apply for on your current job, and maybe it requires for you to take some kind of training. This could be something you have been waiting for a while now, and the opportunity is finally arriving. Okay. Okay, but you're very focused. Okay, you could be being trained by someone who's well seasoned or someone who's been on this job for a long period of time. Okay. Very excited and passionate about this opportunity. If this is not on your current job of employment, this could be some kind of skill or trade that you want to take up, collective, something you want to pursue for yourself. You feel and know that this will position you, to being more financially secure. This will also assist you in your future. You're thinking about wealth. You're thinking about possibly your children. You could be a parental figure. You're thinking about providing the life that you desire. Maybe there's a certain kind of school or certain kind of upbringing in particular that may require for you to be in a certain tax bracket, and as you should. And so you're working towards that. It says achievement, recognition, and being in the spotlight. So whatever the skill or hobby is, this is something that you're going to be very good at. With the Six of Wands, it is going to position you to a smoother situation in your life. You'll be more financially secure and stable as well. Okay, it's going to help you turn over a new leaf, Spirit is saying. Okay, new energy, new vibe. Okay, this could also be someone returning back to school to further their education. This could be a certification, a certificate program. This could be someone going to truck driving school as well. I always pick that energy up there. Hey, you watching? Got some truck drivers watching, or someone who's in truck driver training. Okay, I always pick that energy up quite often there. But you're going to be very successful. Okay, you're going to be very successful. Okay, and so the next card we have here It's the King of Cups, and so this here is emotional maturity. Okay, so you're at a stage in your life where you're very mature. You know what you want. You know what you desire. You're not confused. And you're going for the goal. This is a very focused energy. Whomever I'm talking to, if this isn't you furthering your education or being trained in some kind of skill, this could also be a hobby, some kind of gift or hobby that you already have. And what you're doing, you're enhancing your gifts or your abilities. Say if you were a tattoo artist, you could be perfecting, maybe your ability to draw, or do your tattoos, something about 3D tattoo. Okay, maybe you're learning that, or you want to learn that skill. You already do tattoos, but you want to learn how to do some kind of 3D look. Okay, that sounds awesome. Okay. So this could be you enhancing your skill. This could be even someone like if you're a hairdresser, if you do hair, you're enhancing, your skills that you already have. You could be learning new styles, new techniques, to complete your hobby, your task, your skill, or your gift, whatever this is that you do. Okay. hmm Very well. Very well. Okay, so this energy clearly here is about dedication, a lot of motivated energy here. Very high vibrational. You're very focused. Okay, people could be even saying this about you, collective. Maybe someone has told you this recently, like, "My, you're in your own world. You're so focused, as you should be." Okay, as you should be. So you have chosen basically to take judgment. You have received the spiritual nudge to make some kind of change in your life, and you have chosen, to self-evaluate, your life and do some reflection with judgment here. And you're not in resistance. You have received the spiritual nudge from source, from the divine, to make some changes in your life, and you're willing to take action and do the work that is necessary to get there, which is very beautiful. You're not in resistance. You're not in denial. You're like, whatever it takes to get there, we're going to get there. If it takes me going back to school to further my education because I want a certain career, well, I'll be doing that. If I need to study harder, then I'll be doing that. So you're not allowing anything to get in your way. Very focused, very encouraging. Okay. And so we have the Ten of Swords and it's upside down. It says rising above, surviving a disaster. So you could be coming out of a situation that you thought you were down for the count. But the Ten of Swords is upside down. This is positive energy here. So you have persevered. There's something you have persevered, you have overcame. And this is something that in general, any other person would not be able to overcome. But Spirit is saying you have managed to be strong, see yourself through. This could have been a relationship. This could have been a financial hardship. This could have been a living situation where you were just uncomfortable, but you stayed grateful, you stayed focused, and now things are moving and changing for you. You've also shifted your perception about life. Instead of sitting and complaining, you're choosing to take action towards your goals. You're not expecting anything to be given to you as well. And you are in full acknowledgement of this. Okay. This is what I'm picking up about you. You know that you must apply some kind of practical physical approach here in the 3D. It's okay to manifest and pray, but we must also take action, and you're doing just so. You're ready to reveal your star player, a renewal, a healing, you're having a renewal in your life coming out of a situation that you're healing from with the Ten of Swords upside down, and you're ready to reveal your star player, your innate abilities and gifts, those skills and hobbies that you may have ignored, or those skills and hobbies that people have complimented you on, and maybe people have encouraged you throughout your life, hey, collective, you're really good at so and so, you should give it a try, and you brushed it off. But you're not waiting any longer. You're actually taking action. Okay, you are taking action. You're not talking the talk, you're walking the walk. Okay, you're being a prime example, okay, of what it means to really practice self-love and self-care and make changes in your life. Okay, it looks like whatever you have endured or experienced, it has brought you to a point in your life where you've gained a lot of sacred knowledge, when it comes to survival, how to thrive, how to survive, what to give your time and attention and energy to. And that's why you're so focused. You've learned and you've accomplished and passed the test of learning what's important, what to give your energy to and what not to give your energy to. So that's why you're so focused. You have a lot of clarity. There is no foggy judgment. You don't have a foggy mind. Your vision is clear of what you want and you're working on it and it's going to be successful. So remain optimistic about your present because your future looks very bright, collective, whomever you are. And so, like I said, if this is not you returning to school, this is a skill you already have. If you're a mechanic, you're enhancing your abilities. Maybe you were once just doing brakes. Okay, you're going to move to doing transmissions and motors. Okay, that kind of energy. If you're a chef, maybe you were cooking certain foods. Maybe you're going to expand your menu. Okay, and start a catering business or expand your catering business. Maybe you're going to do more advertising, whomever you are. So this could be many things. If you do home improvement, maybe you're going to put your name out there. Maybe you're going to learn more skills and, that people can hire you for when it comes to home improvement. This could be landscaping also. This could be many things. So even if I didn't name it, if you're here on this video, there's something here for you. This is confirmation. There are no coincidences that you are choosing to focus on yourself. You're coming out of conflict with the Five of Wands. You're coming out of conflict. You're over and done with battling or arguing with anyone or anything that does not serve you for your highest good. So not only are you making changes, financially and for your career, you're also making changes socially. Okay. So you understand and understand that things work together. You can't do one without the other. So it's all working together for your highest good. Okay, collective. You're working on your career, but you're also socially taking inventory, being honest with yourself regarding the company that you keep. You're being honest with yourself, okay? And so you may not be having these conversations directly, but you are reflecting and figuring out and being mindful of who you allow into your life and who you allow to give your time and energy to. Because there's something about you being driven to stay focused. I'm also picking up on someone who's working on maybe becoming a doctor, obtaining a PhD in some form or another, okay? Some kind of schooling that is very strenuous. The work is very tedious. But I'm hearing PhD, and you're not giving up. Maybe you tried to pursue this before, and maybe you had to take a break, but you're getting right back to it. I just got that for somebody. That's not for everyone, but for someone. Okay. And so with the Queen of Coins here, male or female, you are working on success. Okay. And there's practical and mature. So you acknowledge that you have to take action. You can't just talk about, and fantasize. And you are actually taking action. You're taking the practical approach. You're taking action towards your goals, towards your ambitions, the things you want and you desire in life. Okay. Yeah, so people could be saying to you, like, my collective, you're so different. Oh, you're so studious. Something about you're so studious. Okay. Maybe you were that person that used to party and go out and hang, and maybe you're telling your friends now, like, look, I don't have time. I know we used to gather, but if we're gonna gather now, it's gotta be about business. You're no longer gathering to hold on to the porcelain god in the morning, so you can puke up whatever you did last night. You don't mind having fun, but you're prioritizing your life. And so, with that being said, I'm always picking up someone could be also fighting sobriety. Maybe you're deciding to stop drinking as much, okay? Or maybe you start stopping drinking, period, okay? Maybe this is something you're no longer pursuing or doing, but you're done with battling, okay? With the King of Swords here, it says assertive, okay? All right, opinionated and impulsive. So you're no longer dealing with that feisty energy, that chaos energy, as I was speaking of earlier. Any toxicity, anyone who's not bringing anything healthy or any harmony into your life when it comes to them wanting to be around you or engage with you in any way. If it's not about peace, collective, I don't think you're going to be bothered. So, Yes, cross watchers, if you're watching and you have a friend or a family member who's working on progress and they're bettering their life, look, you got to come to them with the right energy because they're very focused and they're not allowing anyone or anything to get in the way. Maybe in the past, you were likely to make the mistake of not prioritizing maybe your schoolwork or saving your money properly or, putting first things first in many areas in your life. But as you have grown and moved forward, okay, and gotten older, you are now moving different. You're not doing the same old thing that you've always done. You're thinking different and your actions are different. Hmm. To the point, yeah, people are noticing. People are noticing, but it looks good on you. With the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, excuse me. Male or female. The Queen of Swords is no nonsense, and people know this. The Queen of Swords energy, and when I say no nonsense, this is not someone who is arrogant, but they're nobody's fool either. They're very down to earth. They're straightforward. Very confident in who they are. Um, you pretty much can't be nickel slick with a Queen of Swords. So if you're coming with any games, or they're just not having it because this is the energy of someone who's been there and done that. Okay, all right. So yeah, you may be busy and occupied, but you're nobody's fool. You're very aware. You have a lot of clarity. You can see clearly, and you're working on, changing your world. So you're ending the cycle of lack of feeling or thinking that you can't have the things you desire, and you're just working towards them. And I love this energy because I'm picking up that you're just very focused, very focused. Okay, doesn't matter where you're from, what your upbringing is. There's nothing that we cannot have or obtain in this life. We live in a plentiful universe. There is plenty. Don't ever feel or think that you ain't got into. Okay, and so we have the Two of Wands here, and so you're setting goals and you're taking actions towards them. This is what this reading is about. And I love this card because as she's burning those things and she's putting them in that bucket or pail, whatever that is, this represents cleansing. This represents renewal. This represents a breakthrough. That's what's bringing you to a whole new world. This is the breakthrough point. You're releasing and surrendering. Symbolically, that's what that means there. Any negative thoughts or actions or events of your past. You're not hanging on to that energy. You're not ignoring it, but you understand that there's no sense of sitting around and constantly playing out old energy that is not fruitful in the current situation here on planet Earth, where you are in your life. You have an understanding that it's no gain. It's actually a loss and a waste of time and energy to contemplate so much on the negative. Okay. Even when we're not comfortable and we feel things aren't going our way, you have to find a way. And it's not easy, but you have to find a way to pull yourself out of the funk. That's when you tap into your strength and that courage, dust your shoulders off and try again. Okay. And it's something that takes time. It's not easy. Okay. Life is something. Life is a pot of gumbo. It's my favorite analogy. Some of this and some of that, and everybody's got their own thing. But you're working towards it, and you're not making no excuses. You're not. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You're going to be very successful. Okay, yeah, focus. Okay, yeah, you're no longer focused on loss. That's what that says. You're no longer in this energy. That's past energy. Oh, no, 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 no. You have taken your power back. You have gone through a healing. You have gone through a surrendering. You have overcame, being down or not being well. You could also be healing or overcoming some kind of ailment as well. You could be feeling better, having more energy, feeling more energized. But at the end of the day, with the Ten of Cups here, it says happy families, blessings, and well-being. So there's a lot of well-being and happiness that you can look forward to, collective. Male or female, whether you're someone who wants to have a family or maybe you just want to be single, but whatever your desires are, you're going to be very successful. And Spirit is saying clearly because your intentions are pure, you're not doing anything to imitate or duplicate or copy anyone. The actions that you are taking is so that you can have a better life for you and your family, okay? Or whomever you care about, okay? So very good. Beautiful read. Beautiful read. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So the Ace of Wands is confirming that you're on the right path, and so don't give up. But I'm pretty sure you're not. You're going to stay the course. You're not going to allow any small negative thought or any hater to come along and try to derail you. You may have your moment. We all have days where we may not feel our best. We're not top tier, but we're there. But you're not allowing anyone to get in your way. You're walking away. I see you walking away from anyone or any person, place, or thing that doesn't serve you. You simply don't have the time. You simply don't have the time or the energy for it. Hmm. You're starting to appreciate life more, with the Hermit energy here. You've been doing a lot of reflecting, on yourself. Yeah. And life, how important it is and how much you have to be grateful for. There's so much for us all to be grateful and thankful for. And you have realized that very deeply, very deeply. You're extremely spiritually connected to your ancestors or whatever your belief system is, whomever you are. You're very spiritually connected. And to be spiritually connected, it doesn't mean you have to belong to some church or go to an organization. If you do, that's cool or fine. But, you could be someone who's deeply spiritually connected, who has their own belief system. You know, all are welcome on this channel. It does not matter what your belief system is. But that's for someone who needs to hear it. To be spiritually connected or have a fine tune, I call it a fine tune uh, connection with your spirit team or with source. You're very deeply connected. And you don't have to be, someone who goes to church. If you do, that's fine. But you could be someone who has your own belief system. You believe in the Christ within. God is in the essence of God is in all things. Okay, omnipotence, omnipresence, and you are very tapped in. No matter what you experience, you trust and know that there's always a higher power working for you for the greater good. Yeah. Lots of wisdom with the Hierophant here. You have leadership qualities and abilities, especially when it comes to your intellect, when it comes to your ability to take care of your business, prioritize. I'm getting the independent energy as well. You could be that friend or that sibling. You're either the sibling in your family or that niece or nephew or that grandchild, that one in the friend group who's known to be the independent one. People know this about you. You're a self-starter. You're not lazy. You're willing to get up and go out and get it. Okay. Yeah. Very courageous. The Fool card is courage. Very courageous. Lots of courage. Lots of beautiful courage. You've endured a lot, but you did not let it succumb you. You did not allow these things to tear you down, whether this was heartache from a relationship, from past experience, from anyone. You did not allow these circumstances to tear you down. And people are in shock of what they see as well. You're making lots of beautiful progress. You're very focused, but people are very shocked. You could have people whom you haven't seen in years, and you're on their mind and their hearts, okay? You're on their mind and their hearts. There could be some just wondering what you're doing, wondering what you're up to. You could be that funny person as well. I'm getting someone with a lot of charisma. Maybe you're the one, you make people laugh. People love your energy and your company. And people are wondering, what is it that you're up to? How are you doing? What is the collective doing? Okay. And what you're doing, you are recalibrating your energy and you're bringing justice into your life. You're bringing balance back into your life. Um, and you're not holding resentment either, but you're bringing balance back into your life. You're prioritizing yourself. and putting first things first, putting things back to where they need to be. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. And so you could be going through an awakening at this time as well. You're so busy, on your task and working, with the schooling, on your job, with the side hustle, your daily life. You could have family. You could have a lot of responsibilities. You could be someone who's busy as well. You have a lot to do on a daily, but you could be going through an spiritual awakening as well. You could be having a spiritual ascension where you're being elevated and your energy is needing to be recalibrated. Hmm. And so with the Queen of Pentacles, like I said, down to earth. I was saying earlier, you're very honest, straightforward with who you are. You're not someone to pretend about anything. It's what you see, what you get, and you love who you are. Your confidence is even increasing, but you're not arrogant. You're not nasty with it. You're just confident, and it's okay to be confident. It takes confidence to continue confidence each and every day for all of us, just to show up for yourself. And that's exactly what you're doing. And it looks great on you. It does. It looks very great on you, male or female. Okay. You know, someone like, hey, you want to hang out later? No, I have to study next time, you're not nasty about it, but and they're in shock. I'm telling you, you have people, you're like the topic of discussion. And just as this person's looking at that crystal, they're like, this is different. We've never seen the collective like this before. We've never seen the collective be so brave and courageous. We've never seen this. You've got them talking and wondering now. Very, and there are also, I must tell you, in a positive way, there are also some people, they're watching, they're observing, but guess what they're saying? You know what? This is different, but this looks good. There are some people applauding you behind your back, and that's wonderful. We always hear about people talking about us behind our back, right? But check this out. You have some people collective that is applauding you behind your back now. These people you may never have conversation with, but these could be people who are aware of your progress. Maybe you have a friend in common. Maybe a family member is telling them, or a friend or an associate, how well you're doing or the changes you've made. Maybe you're on social media somewhere. Maybe someone has seen you. I'm hearing passerby, you've seen them, or they seen you, but you didn't see them. But whatever it is, there's some kind of positive talk going on about you, and they're like, "Bravo, bravo!" Yeah, because we have our haters, but you also, you have some people clapping for you, and these people are people who may have known you in your upbringing, or people who may have seen you go through some kind of challenging time in your life, and so they're happy for you. They're glad that you have overcame that. They are aware. Yeah, I just told you they're watching, and they're shocked in a funny way. This is nothing malicious so far. I'm not picking up, but they're like, wow, the collective overcame all that. And look at them. They look great. They look good. I'm example, of what having faith and persevering look like, and believing in yourself looks like. And you're also influencing people without even trying, in a positive way. You're encouraging other people to not give up on themselves, because they're looking like, if the collective can go through all that and still stand, I can too. If the collective can go through all that heartache, all that betrayal, all the things that were taken from them and done, wow. And they don't even look like it, I can too. Oh, wow. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And so you're just steady taking action, remaining grateful and thankful, and day by day, just taking action towards your goals, pursuing the life that you so desire. Yeah. hmm Balance. Yeah, you're putting things back in its rightful place. You're putting things where they belong, where they should be. Okay? You're fixing your crown. Your crown was tipped and you're fixing your crown now. Okay? Very well, and these people are in shock because they never thought that they would see the day that the collective would be balanced, would be happy, would be healed, would be able to live a life and be at peace or have contentment, because as I said, I'm picking up some things that you have endured. Many would have given up a long time ago, but you chose not to. Okay. So, very beautiful. This concludes the read. I trust and hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.